we have different roles in this relationship dynamic. You're a father, you're a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a mother.
So what's his role if he's sick, right? And he can't work and you have to provide. He says this. Hang on. He says this. When you come home, you're going to give me all the money. And I'm going to put the money in where I see fit, right? That's where it's going to go. Well, and hang on. Let me finish. And you disagree with what he's doing with that money, and you're making it.
How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel. Now, Andrew Wilson is one of these guys that I've really enjoyed listening to. I do think he's a very integral, people like him at least, are very integral to the argumentation of what we want to see society become. And you see, when we are having these debates, we are going to react to a video from the Fresh and Fit podcast, where there's this phenomenon. There are a lot of women who claim to be traditional women, and mostly it's because it's becoming more popular and they've realized at least that men prefer traditional women. And in that case, we have the phenomenon called chameleons. And in my opinion, this is one of them. And we are going to listen in to both sides of this argument as I give my commentary as usual. Let's get into this.
All right. Okay. So, and then I didn't forget about you. We were having a nice spirited back and forth. You were saying that you thought that God created men and women equally.
No, I said God created men and women, not equals. We're not equals, absolutely not. But he did create us, both of us. So we're either, I feel like we're supposed to be a team in some sort of way.
Well, team implies what?
Not equality. In a team setting, no one is an equal. There's people have positions in a team setting.
Okay. So you would say that the man's the head of the family.
He should. I would like my man to be the head of my family. And I would like to support him in however way I can.
Do you think that men should be the head of the family?
I think every relationship has a different dynamic, but me personally, I want...
And this is exactly the issue, because they like to talk around the issue, because it's a very simple question which requires a simple answer, but a simple answer would give away her true motives or what she actually really thinks. They have to kind of play one leg this side, one leg the other side, just to keep people guessing, but we'll find out where she stands.
My man to be the head of my family, yes.
Okay, so I'll grant that every single relationship has a different dynamic.
They do.
Would you say, though, that generally it's a better idea if the man is at the head?
Yes, I think the dynamic is much more better from my experience when I see my friends who are married. The dynamic is typically better when, yes.
Yeah, and should women be submissive to their men?
Absolutely, but you gotta, you don't want to be submissive to, just anything, you gotta be...
Well, no, that wouldn't be your man. You would be submissive.
There's always that disclaimer. I don't know why, because the thing is this. The word submissive, because the feminists came up saying, oh, strong, women are strong, ABCD, it kind of conflicts with that ideology in that way, because they're talking about how strong they are, they can do everything a man can do, and ABCD. So what is happening here is that she has to face that, because that's part of the ideology.
To your man, right?
Yeah, but this man that I'm submissive to, there's everyone should have standards, and should have their...
You're being told that it is your man that you've already picked. You've set your standards and you've picked this guy. Can you now answer the question? This is absolutely
standards,
ridiculous.
and it's that's what you should be.
So what standard does a man have to meet for you to be submissive to him?
For me, a big one is mainly a provider. Money is a big factor because, we have access to a lot of things. If I have kids, I want to make sure that they go to good schools and we have a nice home and we live in a nice neighborhood, things like that.
So if he meets the material conditions.
Yeah, and you see, this is the thing. It's always nice things, the best in life, the best. They want to live like millionaires. Just basic 3 or 4s like this. They want to live like millionaires. They can't get the millionaire in her position right now. I mean, you can dream. I want a supermodel who's also a virgin. I mean, what are we talking about? Who will listen to me? I want all those things. But where is it? It's not there. So this particular person is speaking in delusions.
That, and also communication, because along the way of our relationship, there will be, things that we need to overcome, and misunderstandings and different points of views. So important for us to we're solution oriented and not so much stuck on this. I'm right, you're wrong. It's more like this is
gibberish.
The issue. And
but what if he says he's right and you're wrong?
I'll let him have it, and then maybe when he calms down, I'll revisit.
That's like
you see that's exactly it. You're not really letting him have it, because she adds, okay, let's listen.
Yeah. I mean, it's awful benevolent of you to let him have it.
It depends.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. They always mention that they're traditional, what a man should lead, but it's just words. What they really want is how they behave. I'll let him have it. Then later when he's calmed down, I will tell him ABCD. No, that's not what he's saying. Saying there's this decision to be made. There's somebody to make a last call on this decision. That's your man. Yes? That's really the question here. There's nothing more to it.
What the heat of the moment is, but I will.
It doesn't sound very submissive. I mean, you're going to go bother him again in an hour? You're like, okay, fine. And then you're going to come back in an hour and be like, but after having thought about this in my bedroom, I got more and more upset and felt like I needed to bring it back to you.
Look, it all depends on what it is. Some things I'm willing to okay, whatever. It's not I'm not sure. It depends really on the argument and what it is. You know what I mean?
So here's why I'm asking. Let me just cut right to the chase.
Yeah.
I don't believe when most women say that they want to be submissive that they're telling the truth.
Why?
I think that because I don't believe that what they consider submission to be, I think that they consider it another form of partnership or equality. So I'll submit as long as you meet X, Y, Z condition. So for instance,
right. Well,
hang on.
And that's exactly it. Okay. This is my thinking on this, because if you're a submissive woman, you're a submissive woman. It comes with a package. It comes with the makeup. So whoever you end up, whoever you choose to be with, that one is given as a given. Forgive my repetition there. It is a given that you will submit to him. That is what he's saying. It is not contingent on other factors and all these other things, because all these other factors is the feminist propaganda. That is what it's all. That is those all other factors. Unless you can buy me everything I want and make me feel good all the time, because the reason they say all this is because all those standards are not attainable. Whatever they are demanding of you is not attainable, and that's why they say it. Because you see, logically, it means now they will not submit, because what they're asking you to do is not attainable. It's really, it's a mind game. It's tiresome, but we have to break it down.
You said material conditions are important.
For me, yes.
So you get married.
For everyone.
You get married to a guy who makes $500,000 a year. He gives you a wonderful life. He gets sick.
Okay.
Like my dad did. He gets multiple sclerosis. Okay. And now he's messed up. Is he still the head of the family, even if you're the breadwinner?
I mean, he's my partner. I married him. It wasn't his fault that he got sick.
That's my partner business. Yeah. You see, there's no... That is my husband. No, she's my wife. This partner business, that's all. Nobody else other than feminists speak like that.
It's true, but is he the head of the family, even if you're the breadwinner?
In my eyes, he is. I would be like, kids, respect your father. He's still your dad.
He says, I make all the decisions, and you're going to follow those decisions.
Well, I think decisions in a household, it's a two-parent household. What decisions are being made? I think if you respect...
Well, that's not submission.
If you respect your partner, look, submissive is not a slave. Let's be clear.
What is it?
Submissive is to me, if your man, look, if we have gender roles, if we are both doing our part, in a way, a man submits to a woman, a woman submits to a man.
No, a man doesn't submit to a
That's what it is. You see, it's that, how do they call it, the egalitarian mindset, where it's exactly the same. Although we know that we sacrifice more, and we build everything and maintain everything, there's no equality. It's just it's a fake concept. Even among men, among us as men, there are men who are greater than us, taller than us, faster than us, smarter than us, richer than us. We have the hierarchies for a reason, because we are not the same. But they're trying to force the sameness, because on one end you want the men to do everything, on the other end you want to take up everything else without having to give as much or even a percentage of it. Men were very happy taking care of you because they wanted children and offspring and heirs. And they would sacrifice their own lives for you. But now we're having this argument, this silly argument by these silly people who are just really, in my head, they're scumbags. They're just liars. They lie all the time.
Woman, how does a man submit to a woman?
Because your woman will have certain wishes that she wants you to grant or things she wants you to do. Let's say like throw out the trash or be home by dinner at this time.
You notice that she's calling you just doing normal things some form of submission. You know, they just use words recklessly. These people are actually illiterate, in my opinion. They've gone to colleges or whatever, but they're illiterate. They don't have the capacity to think logically one step after another. It's not. If you've seen it, you've heard it everywhere. They bring in PhDs, they bring all sorts of people, but they can't put one step in front of the other when it comes to argumentation. It's ridiculous. It's always emotive. There's always emotions involved.
Or, help me with this, help me with that. Or
sounds like equality.
Or provide. That's not equality, because she's
if you're saying he has to submit under XYZ role, you have to submit under XYZ role, it sounds like it's a partnership.
Look, yes, we are partners.
Oh, that's not equal.
Partners are not equal.
They're not? You have a lesser equality to your husband?
No, I deserve respect.
Well, that confuses me.
Okay.
Are you equal or are you not equal to your husband?
We're not equal because you're a man, I'm a woman. We deserve equal.
You see, they just speak out of both sides of the mouth. It is actually, how do I say this without sounding horrible? It is actually a total waste of time, I find. If it wasn't for the content and being able to do something about it and to affect the culture in a positive way, do a good business around it, it's really, some of these people should just be no voting, no doing what. I know people have been pushing it, but when you have this level of argumentation, which is not only ignorant, but it's very dishonest. It's not because they are stupid. They know what they are talking about. They know that if I say this, it will corner me. So she won't say it.
Equal respect, but we both have different roles. So
equal dignity as human beings, sure.
We have different roles in this relationship dynamic. You're a father, you're a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a mother.
So what's his role if he's sick, right? And he can't work and you have to provide. He says this. Hang on. He says this. When you come home, you're going to give me all the money and I'm going to put the money in where I see fit, right? That's where it's going to go. Well, hang on. Let me finish. And you disagree with what he's doing with that money, and you're making it.
Why would I disagree? I would trust.
Because you do. You think he's spending it unwisely.
So in this scenario, I disagree with him. I would express that. Look, I don't think it's a smart decision, and if you want to that's the thing. Like, it's not an argument. It's like this is
the thing. I'm gonna cut that there because it's a long video. I'll leave a link down below so that you can watch the rest of it. It's pretty interesting just to see the questions to ask, how to think through a process, how to think through an argument, which actually leads to better decision making. In this particular case, you understand that we are living a time where over the decades, there's been an outrageous amount of power that has been shifted from the men who've built and maintained everything. And that, in my opinion, my conspiracy theory is by the corrupt, most powerful people, because they want cheaper labor. They want women to buy because they are more impressionable. You see all ads, they are usually driven towards women because, as you know, women have the majority of the debt in the world. Yes, not just in the West, in the world. And also, no matter how many times they say, oh, they're equal in the workplaces or what, they're always earning much, much less. I don't even know that 75 cents to the dollar is right. I think that's a PR number. I think it's much less, even although basically a lot of women are paid monies they shouldn't earn, but they still don't make up for just how much men actually make. I think it's closer to 60 or 50 cents to the dollar. That's my estimation. I'm just saying don't quote me. I'm just saying, looking at exactly what we do every day and who owns the best and the most expensive and the most valuable things, or maybe women just do much more purchases. Small, many, big. Even the big ones, it's many. No matter. It is incumbent upon you as a guy to understand that there are no submissive women. These women who claim to be traditional but are making straight up feminist arguments, you can't trust them. We all have to be logical. Yeah, I know the things we want, but it's going to be harder because so many a much bigger percentage of the population is infected with these ideologies more than we would like to accept. Even the ones who are kind of traditional, they still have that because they deal with modernity every day. So I don't know what you guys think about this particular argument or this particular video. Please leave me a comment down below and like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace.